Thank you so much for all being here and for your patience in getting started. We're very, very honored to have so many different organizations here to come together on such an important issue today. My name is Megan Fialkoff, and I'm the Executive Director for the Foundation for a Drug-Free World of the Americas chapter. The Foundation for a Drug-Free World is one of the largest NGOs on this issue, which is drug education and prevention. We have chapters in more than 120 countries around the world, and we have educational materials in more than 16 languages. And so we are an international nonprofit, and I happen to be in charge of the chapter that's responsible for New York, New Jersey, and Latin America. And I'm going to be moderating today's event. We have many, many speakers that we're very excited to introduce to you and to share their experiences with you. And so we're going to get right into it. So this is your official welcome to our third annual United Nations Convention, which is sponsored by the Permanent Mission of Turkey, which we are really appreciative to be working with on this issue and to be hosting this event for us, in addition to the NGO COJEP. And I'm going to introduce both of their representatives in a moment. I did want to share a few things about COJEP that's very exciting, is they're an NGO, and we have one of their representatives that flew in from Switzerland. They're part of the European Parliament, and many of the things that are part of their nonprofit's objectives align with Foundation for a Drug-Free World. And so we came together and are here putting on this convention, and we're, again, very excited to share what we're going to be sharing with you today. So with no further ado, and silencing all of our phones, I'm going to introduce our first speaker, which is Ms. Halime Digdem Booner, and she is here from the Permanent Mission of Turkey. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank you and congratulate you for organizing this event on the occasion of the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. And I also would like to welcome your guests, our guests here. It's good to see such an interesting and cosmopolitan crowd. We are deeply concerned by the ever-expanding size of the drug market. Latest data on global illicit opiates and precursor trafficking indicate that this trend will likely to continue. Criminal organizations make billions of dollars through illegal manufacturing or trafficking of drugs, along with other forms of transnational crime. Naturally, many terrorist organizations also get involved in these activities to fund their heinous activities. This is a serious threat, and international community should effectively cooperate to counter it. We are also very concerned about the increasing use of new psychoactive substances, especially among the youth. Tackling this emerging threat is one of the priority areas in our efforts. We believe that misuse of internet for drug-related crimes is also a growing threat that the international community should jointly work on. Distinguished guests, as I represent Turkey, I would like to touch upon our national efforts in this field briefly. Due to our geographic location, we are exposed to an extensive flow of licit and illicit goods, including drugs. Our government adopted last year a comprehensive counter-drug strategy and plan of action for the years 2018-2023. The action plan comprises measures that target both demand and supply reduction within a coordinated national framework. In this context, new and wide-ranging preventive methods are introduced. Treatment, rehabilitation, and social reintegration services and programs have been significantly increased in the demand reduction dimension. In the prevention area, effective and successful government civil society partnerships, particularly in the areas towards children and youth, are developed. Green Crescent Society and other NGOs have assumed important roles in this field as well. Under the coordination of the Ministry of Health, tangible progress has been achieved in provision of better public services in the treatment and rehabilitation fields, as well as availability of the controlled substances. We are also committed to fight against the traffickers and street-level sellers of illicit drugs. We canalize our national resources to this end. Our relevant authorities continue to successfully seize significant portion of illicit drugs trafficking through our territory. Distinguished guests, before I conclude my remarks, I would like to wish you all a successful and productive conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We actually have a presentation for the Permanent Mission of Turkey that we'd like to give you. She has to go to another event that her country's putting on, so we'd like to present this now, and our president, Dr. Bernard Fialkov, will do the presentation.
So first of all, I want to acknowledge the Permanent Mission of Turkey. There are many times where in history things need to be done. And somehow or other, unfortunately, many times it never occurs. And because of that, we have human strife, we have war, and we have suffering. So I really, as a representative of Drug Free World International, want to commend and give sincere gratitude to the Mission of Turkey that they see that in this time of need, where so many of our children and the future of all our countries all over the world are being endangered by drugs, that they have sponsored this event. And so we had this special award made up, and if we stand.
Okay.
And Megan, why don't you get on that side? And it states, Foundation for a Drug-Free World presents an acknowledgement to the Permanent Mission of Turkey on the occasion of the 3rd Annual Drug-Free World United Nations International Drug Prevention Conference. This is to acknowledge their leadership and role in helping create a drug-free world. May 31st, 2019, United Nations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for what you've done. Do you want this little square? Okay. Okay.
Thanks a lot. Nice meeting you.
Very nice to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your understanding. So, trust.
Is Iranian, so thank you. Thank you. Okay, very good. So we're going to move on to our next speaker, which is Dudu Kellis, who is the representative here from the NGO COJEP that is sponsoring this convention along with Drug Free World.